What is up, everybody? I wanted to come on live and clear the air a little bit, hopefully give a little bit of context for what happened last night in Portland, Oregon. As you can imagine, my phone has been blowing up with all kind of crazy people asking a lot of questions, and the media has taken the story and ran with it. And man, in the midst of all of this, I just want God to get the glory, because what took place was absolutely mind-blowing. I mean, we've been to, 120 something cities. And last night, 8/8 was the final night of our summer tour, really kind of year-long tour, as we take a break and gear up for DC. But I just want to testify of God's goodness, His mercy, His protection, His love, His breakthrough, to clear the air for all of you guys so that you can hear it straight from my heart. Last year we had a powerful time coming into Portland. It was in the midst of the city burning and the courthouse. They were burning it down, the rioting, burning copies of the Bible downtown. And I really felt like we were supposed to end this summer tour back in Portland. And so, we gathered the same squads that we had before, and the musicians and the incredible Russians. I mean, man, without the Slavic heroes, that were willing to go where no one else was willing to go, this whole thing wouldn't have happened. And then we had seen what had taken place the day before we got there, with another pastor, Pulowski, who's a pastor from Canada, that was thrown in prison. And he's a wild man. I know him, but our events were not coordinated. We had been planning August the 8th for over 4 months. So this event that we did was not in retaliation. It was not a response. It was just, let us worship, what we had been doing for the last year. And Antifa came in and really messed with them, threw all their gear in the river, and, really just intimidated them, maced bear spray on a lot of their people, harassed their children and the families. And so I made some calls, or my team made some calls to the churches that were joining with us. So we need some extra security. We're not looking for a fight. We're not trying to provoke a fight, but we know these guys, and we refuse to be intimidated. We refuse to back down. I knew the Lord had called us to Waterfront Park. I knew the date that we had, and I wasn't willing. We have so much momentum in history. And I just want to say this too. Really want you guys to hear my heart. And I hope you can share this, because right now we're getting censored like crazy from Facebook. And so I hope everybody can share this right now so that you can hear what I'm about to say. Because I'm telling you, we are entering a new era of bold Christianity in America. Now, I have spent 20 years of my life investing into the nations of the world. I have gone to places no one else would go to. I've been inside of North Korea. I've been in Saudi Arabia. I've gone into Iraq. We still have teams going into Iraq, every few months. We have a long-term team over there. We were there at the height of ISIS. I brought my family in. Some of you guys know that story. I've worshiped with bulletproof vests on. I've gone into Afghanistan right after 9/11, and I've worshiped, embedded in Taliban territory. So, a lot of this isn't new to me, but it is shocking to know that we would need that much security in the United States of America. And I am not dramatic about this. I'm not being dramatic. I mean, I've seen it. I've been to the darkest and hardest nations. I've been to the craziest places. I have seen intensity. I've felt the warfare in the spirit, but I've also seen it in the natural. And what took place last night was really wild, because you could feel the intensity of the atmosphere. You could feel the intimidation. We asked the security that came with us. They were not hired by us, and they were not the Proud Boys. I think Fox News came out with an article saying it was the far right versus the far left. No, that wasn't it at all. We didn't have a contract with them. I don't even know who the Proud Boys are. These were church guys, man. Ex-military, ex-police, guys that love the Lord, guys that were willing to lay their life on the line to protect us, to worship in that place. Obviously, we have that right guaranteed in the Constitution with the First Amendment, but more importantly, we have the call of God to bring the atmosphere of heaven into really dark places. And so that, to me, that motivates me, got to be honest with you, that motivates me far more than the First Amendment. I think we need to protect that and stand up for that. I agree. But man, I am called from heaven to do this. This is my mandate. This is what I was born for. I've been on record labels. I've written songs with, amazing people before. I've done all that, but I'm telling you that this is my lane. I'm called to bring his presence to dark places. I've been doing it for 20 years. I didn't just start during the pandemic. I didn't just start during the riots. I've been doing it a long time. So anyway, as we went in there and we set up, they already were gathering. They were already communicating. I'm sure you've probably seen some of the screenshots. Antifa was actively targeting to harass our gathering. Thankfully, we had probably over 5,000 people there. So, the meeting that they really tried to mess with the day before had about 50. And that's the thing I tell believers. When we show up in numbers, man, people are not going to mess with us. We got to show up strong with numbers. And so we showed up with 5,000 people. They still try to mess with us, but our security was dialed, man. They were dialed. They were prayed up. They were ready for anything. They weren't trying to antagonize and they weren't trying to provoke. They were literally just trying to protect our ability to worship. And guess what happened? Because I don't want to spend all this time talking about Antifa. Those guys are goons, man. They're cowards. They're not even worth our time. They're not worth our breath. But here is what's worth it. Last night, guys, people got saved. People got freed. People got delivered. People threw needles on the stage. People threw blades on the stage that were going to commit suicide. People threw drugs on the stage. People came undone in the presence and power of God. It was like when I stepped on to that waterfront park, I felt the same thing as I did last year. It's like the angels. It talks about in Hebrews, it's like the joyful assembly. It was like, they were like, finally, you guys showed up again, and it was like they were dispatched on our behalf to call the lost in. And people got breakthrough, man. I mean, an Antifa guy got saved. I'm going to share with you that testimony tomorrow. Just a heads up, you guys, your feed is going to be blown up with the wildest testimonies. This is the last time I'm going to talk about Antifa and what happened, because I just want to focus on the goodness of God. I want to focus on his glory. I want to focus on he gets all of it. He gets it all, man, because he showed up in the middle of the intensity. In fact, there was one part when I was leading worship, and you guys might have seen, my wife was watching the live stream and she was like, you look kind of distracted. Well, I was looking around as I was playing my guitar, true story. And, there are times when you need to lead worship with your eyes closed, but there are also times where it's important to lead worship with your eyes open. And, you can see that from, David, as Saul lunged through the harp at him while he was thankfully had his eyes open and was able to dodge the harp while he was playing his, able to dodge the spear as he was playing his harp. And I was looking out and I saw these two gnarly Antifa guys, and they were like kept creeping closer and closer towards the platform, towards where I was. I knew what they were going to do. I could sense it in my spirit, but yet I still had to lead worship. And, they just stuck out like a sore thumb. Plus, they didn't know the words to any of the songs. I mean, if you don't know the words to like What a Beautiful Name and Waymaker, and you're at Let Us Worship, like three people behind the front, then you ain't there for good stuff, and that was my first takeaway. But they also had a real demonic presence on them. They were super, super heavy and demonically possessed. And thankfully, we had some security guys next to us, and they kind of stepped in kind of to the side of me, and those guys recognized they couldn't mess with me. Plus, I don't have a problem using the guitar to push them back. I don't have an issue with that. But my point is this: because we were able to persevere, and oh, by the way, I want to say this. So they were able, our crew, our security team, there was about 40 to 60 of them from tons of different churches. They were able to keep them at bay. There was a couple times they tried to charge and run up, and we kept them at bay during the event. But what they chose to do is regroup and then target and harass people as they were leaving, going back to their cars. So I have personal testimonies from people that were walking with their family. One lady was walking with a baby, and Antifa threw a huge tear gas thing and just totally like threw fire bombs and fireworks and they were throwing them at cars. I don't know if you saw the videos and the pictures, but they were taking these steel spiky things, and they were putting them in the roads to pop people's tires. That happened to a lot of people's cars. We also had concrete things that they were throwing, rocks that they were throwing at people. I mean, it's just there's so many testimonies. This is not like one or two people. They were definitely waited till the event was over so that they could harass families as they were walking back to their cars. And here's the thing, man. We cannot tolerate this. I want to be super clear. We cannot tolerate this in America, not in our cities, man. We refuse to be intimidated. We refuse. I mean, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but power, love, and a sound mind. And there is a point where you got to rise up and you got to say no more. And we do it in the spirit, but we also do it on our streets. And I am so over these soft, woke, passive Christians that are letting their cities go to crap. And I'm telling you, that is not the call of God. We have a call to bring reformation. We have a call to bring breakthrough. We have a call to protect the vulnerable. We have a call to protect our businesses, to protect our churches. And so I have no problem with having security at these events that are going to protect people. And thank God that we did that night, because we needed every single one of those security guys. And I just want to give a massive thank you to all of them that came. I took a picture with them. You guys probably saw it. And yes, I did make a joke that, they have the ministry of laying on of hands. So if we need them, they are there for it. And it's time in America, guys, for us to rise up and fight back, because we got to understand our battle isn't against flesh and blood, but powers and principalities are controlling people. And you can easily see the demonic spirits. Whenever true worship is released, demonic spirits just wig out. And for whatever reason, we're not being political. These Let Us Worship gatherings are not political. We are not pushing some far right agenda. We're just worshiping the Lord and asking for revival. And last night, the Lord answered our call. So I just want to thank you guys for praying for us. I know so many of you around the world were praying. Our feed was being censored. My wife couldn't even find our feed. She couldn't even find it when she searched my name, my own wife. And so I know it was difficult for some of you. Please hop on YouTube. You can watch it. It's really raw. You can watch it on Facebook. I think it's still on there, but it was really, really powerful what the Lord did. And, I feel like God has positioned us. I know in my life, He's positioned me in these situations, and I have a call and I have a mandate. And I know for some people, they don't like it. They just want us to be soft. They want us to be passive. They want us to retreat. But I'm telling you, that is not what the Lord has called us to do. That is not the mandate that's on my life. And it does mean that we're put in these situations sometimes, but I'm telling you, for the future of our children's children, for the future of America, and for the sake of revival. I keep thinking about the people that got delivered and set free last night. Hundreds of people that gave their lives to Jesus. If we would have cowered in fear, if we would have decided to cancel it, and I'm sure everybody would have been like, yeah, we understand. But we don't cancel. In an era of cancel culture, we do not cancel Let Us Worship. Like, we don't care, man. The rain, the snow, the wind, the Antifa, we've had blood poured on us. We've been fined. We've been persecuted. We've been threatened. We've had all this kind of stuff happen to us, man. But yet when we persevere, we see the power of God manifest. And it happened last night. And that's the thing. The book of Acts. If we were doing all this and God wasn't showing up, we would know it would be in our own fleshly desires. But because heaven is showing up, only God can free a known Antifa agitator that can come to bring harm, and he can end up being the one that gave his life to Jesus. Only God can see. I mean, you guys see the videos. This is real. We're not hyping this up. Heaven is responding to the boldness of the church. This is the hour for us to be bold. And so I'm telling you, it is time, guys. Boldness was like the number one thing that everybody knew in the book of Acts. That was what accompanying the filling of the Spirit was, a spirit of boldness. Throughout it, Acts chapter 4, Acts chapter 8, Paul and Silas in prison. Boldness was the characteristic that stood out. And it's the same thing that God wants to empower us with in this season. So anyway, we love you guys. Do me a favor, if you could, please share this video, share this story, post it everywhere so that people know we can clear the air. We came to worship Jesus. We have a long history of doing this. We did not provoke anybody. We did not ask for a fight. And yet they brought it. Thank God people were safe. I heard of some people had some injuries, but nothing super serious. And more than anything, we took a stand. And America saw a church that will not back down. So please share this. If you want to help us, Washington, D.C. is right around the corner, September 11th and 12th. 2 days, we're going to be on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. We have a permit for 2 days. I'm asking you guys to come and show up for 2 days with us as we rumble. We're going to honor America. We're going to honor the first responders. We're going to honor the war heroes. We're really going to take some moments and pray over the survivors of 9/11. We're going to do something that I don't know anyone's doing in America. And then on the 12th, we're doing a full-blown revival. Let us worship. We're going to have other meetings that are happening across the city leading up to it. But listen, you guys do not want to miss this. I feel like now more than ever, America needs to see tens of thousands of worshipers on the mall, September 11th and 12th. If you want to donate and help us, we would love that. You can go to letusworship.us. Obviously, you guys know we are very frugal in what we do and how we operate, and we have a small team. And so anything that you donate is amazing. We would love it so much. We have some exciting announcements to come, including a new album. I can't wait to share this with you guys. I love you. Share this video. This is the story. God gets the glory. Wait for the testimonies tomorrow. It's going to blow your mind. God bless.